I'm going to turn it over to the police commissioner of the city of New York.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. Before I address developments overseas connected to the first night of Hanukkah, I want to begin by providing an update on two incidents that occurred, one here in New York City and one in Rhode Island. First, at approximately 1:16 a.m., a shooting occurred outside the venue Burbuja Events, located at 2929 Atlantic Avenue in the Cypress Hills neighborhood of Brooklyn, which was hosting a Sweet 16 party at the time. 6 teenagers between the ages of 15 and 17 were tragically struck by gunfire. At this time, none of the injuries are believed to be life-threatening. Based on security camera footage provided by the venue, 2 unidentified males were observed walking southbound on Ashford Street toward Atlantic Avenue. Upon reaching the intersection, both individuals displayed firearms and discharged multiple rounds toward a crowd gathered outside of the venue. The suspects fired westbound on Atlantic Avenue before fleeing northbound on foot toward Ashford Avenue, 2 parts unknown. The exact motive is currently unknown but appears to be gang-related. This remains an active and ongoing investigation. NYPD detectives are following all leads and will provide updates as more information becomes available. I also want to address the active shooter incident that occurred at Brown University in Providence, Rhode Island yesterday, where 2 people were tragically killed and 9 were injured. While that incident remains under investigation and there is no known nexus to New York City, we have deployed additional resources to college and university campuses throughout the city as a precaution. I now want to turn to events overseas that are informing our security posture here in New York today. Last night in Sydney, Australia, 2 gunmen carried out a terrorist attack targeting a Hanukkah celebration at Bondi Beach. Authorities have confirmed that over a dozen people were killed, with dozens more injured and hospitalized. I want to be clear, this was a deliberate act of violence against Jews celebrating their faith. Our hearts are with the victims, their families, Chabad, and Jewish communities here and around the world. Since the attack occurred, the NYPD has been in continuous contact with our law enforcement partners in Australia, and we are receiving updates directly from our NYPD liaison officer stationed in Sydney. We are closely monitoring developments as more verified information becomes available. This, too, remains an active investigation. Based on preliminary information at this time, authorities report that 2 assailants opened fire from an elevated position overlooking Bondi Beach, where hundreds of people had gathered to mark the first night of Hanukkah. Australian authorities have also confirmed that a vehicle containing undetonated explosive devices was located at the scene and is believed to be linked to the suspects. At this time, one of the attackers is confirmed dead, and the second was injured. He is in custody and was transported to a local hospital. 2 Australian police officers were also critically injured in the attack. At this point, there is no known nexus to New York City, and we are not tracking any specific credible threats related to Hanukkah events here. Out of an abundance of caution, the NYPD has significantly increased security around Hanukkah-related events, menorah lightings, and Jewish houses of worship across all 5 boroughs. You will see an enhanced uniform presence, specialized patrols, heavy weapons teams, community affairs officers, counterterrorism resources, and bomb squad deployments where appropriate. As always, we will follow up on any tips, leads, and intelligence, and we are marshaling all available resources to ensure the safety of New Yorkers. I am going to be blunt. This is not an isolated incident. It is part of a wider assault on Jewish life, an environment in which hatred far exceeds rhetoric and erupts into horrifying acts of violence. Jewish communities are being forced to confront a threat that is persistent, adaptive, and is evidenced yet again today, global in scope. That's why the NYPD is acutely focused on prevention. We calibrate our presence to meet the threat, no matter where it lurks or whom it targets. Tonight marks the first night of Hanukkah here in New York City. There's a core idea in Jewish tradition that when you light the Hanukkah candles, you are engaging in Pirsume Nisa, publicizing the miracle of Hanukkah. That is why candles are lit publicly in windows, in front yards, in open and visible spaces. It's a declaration of faith, resilience, and continuity. That is what the Jewish community in New York City does every year, and this year will be no different. I want Jewish New Yorkers to know the NYPD will always be there to protect Jewish communities' right to worship freely, to gather openly, and to celebrate without fear. We ask New Yorkers to remain aware and alert. As always, if you see something suspicious, tell a uniformed police officer or call 911. Thank you very much.